Hello. In front of me here, I have some brown packing paper from Amazon shipping boxes that you get when you get a package. And they have been gessoed with a layer and didn't turn my sound off, but it's good to hear that my sound is working. Okay, there we go. So back to what I was saying after I turned the live caption off. Okay, so they have a layer of paint. This is actually some of my rust water from trying to rust some pin things. I don't know what they're safety pins, but they're somewhat fancy and they're not the right type of metal. They don't rust very well at all. Darn. Anyways, let's get back to this. Now I've done some already and I'll show those to you in a minute. But welcome to my channel. I'm Theresa and I hope that I'll be able to interest you in what I'm doing this evening. Today is the 14th of November. It's a Thursday and I've just finished work. It's about 5:30 p.m. here in Onalaska, Texas, and I thought I'd have a play. So thus the craft with me, backgrounds on packing paper. The first thing I need that I did not get out, I got my embossing folders, but I didn't get my embossing machine out. I'll try and do this quietly. Whenever I open or close this thing, it's very noisy. And let's see. Oh, excuse me, I got a yawn. I need, that's the die cutting. This is for thin and this is for thick. And I will need a number 1. Oh, okay. So 1 and 4 or 1 and 3 is what I'm going to need. So I don't need my plates. And I think I'm going to go with that leafy one. I got to think what it is I'm trying to accomplish here. Actually, I think I will go with this. I feel like I need to sneeze. I'm going to use splatter and I'm going to use thanks and excuse me, thanks and hello. And I need one more splatter. Thanks and hello. Okay, I've got what I need. Now, this is a thin one. This is a thick one. So we'll go with the thick one first. So that means the thinnest plate. And we need to put some paper in here. That's going to be for the leaf. So let's do this one. Okay. It's going to be too wide, so I'm going to fold it over. And we'll throw it through the machine. So I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I'm doing well. My poor husband is going through his migraine period, which is usually about can be about a 2 weeks. I think the humidity has really been difficult on him. he decided yesterday that the last time he felt this bad was when we had made another big trip, and we just finished our big trip going cross country. Now what I'm doing here is I've embossed this, right? Oh phooey, I embossed it a different way than I wanted to. So I wasn't paying attention. I want this to go up. So I probably should have embossed it this way. No. Should have embossed it this way. Let's try again. Yeah, so anyways, we're hoping that after he settles down from this stressful trip that, oh yeah, come on now, you need your plates, that he will start feeling better. He takes a shot, and he took his shot about 2 days ago, so we'll see. Now, let's see if that raised. Yes, that raised. Okay, I knew better that the Stampin' Up emblem needed to be up when I use the embossing folder if I want it to be the way that I usually like it, with the embossing up. So embossed, not de-embossed. So now I'm going to try sanding this to just hit where it's been embossed at. I wonder if I need a better sanding pad. Probably would work better on watercolor paper or cardstock. This thin paper probably isn't the best for this sort of thing. And I think I'll leave that there. And then, what color do I want to try and highlight this with? We've got brown and orange. What would be a good color? How about green? A little bit. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The thing with backgrounds is you don't really know what's going to happen until you like finish putting it together. I don't know, some of the backgrounds I've been seeing lately are gorgeous. Let's try another one. Let's try this one. And we were going to do this one with this. So let's do this one right in the middle. I'll fold it over so it'll fit. And I'm going to need this and this. No, I need the thicker one. Okay, let's try regular sandpaper, which I've got to go get that. Be right back. See if this will do any different. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Now I've seen this technique before, but I haven't done it before. Hi Becky, thanks for joining me. I hope you're having a good evening. This is a lot better. Yeah, I haven't done this technique myself before, but I've seen it done. So this is sandpaper from the dollar store, and then I was trying to use the disc, the sanding disc from Tim Holtz, and yeah, I like the sanding paper much better. Okay, now let's try this. I don't know, it looks kind of like a mess, but this is something else that might just look kind of cool once you put a focal point on it and you start working with it. So I'm going to leave that for now like that. And then I'm going to do one more. Use my thanks and hello. And I was going to do it on this one. I'm going to try that one more time to see if it'll do a little bit more on the embossing. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, this one doesn't have any paint on it, so it's looking cool where the rust stain was. I like that a lot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blending brush see if I got any ink on it. No, not on that one. Let's find some ink. Thanks, Becky. You too. I'm just trying to hit that embossed area. And there's what we have for that one. That's kind of cool. Now that one would have to be like a pocket or a journal card that went that way, because that way being landscape. So I've done all of these, and this one is still blank. This one is still blank. So I'll come up with an idea to do something with those. And this has distressed texture paste on it. And I used this stencil, this rose stencil. On all three of these. So this one, this one, this one, I not only used the rose stencil with the texture paste, but I also used distressed foundry wax, gilded, oops, right there. And I also used this alloy foundry. And the thing is I used this yesterday, and oh my gosh, I made such a mess. And I laid it down, and then I sprayed it with a high concentration of alcohol, like 97%, something like that. And it just flaked and went everywhere. So this time I had the gesso background, and I put down the gold wax and the silver alloy, and it stayed. It did well. I don't know how to describe it. Hi, Tracy. Tracy says, these are so cool. How will you use them? And I repeat what people say sometimes, because I've found that when I go back and look at my videos, the chat doesn't show. Sometimes I've seen the chat show. I don't know. one of the things about technology that confuses me. But anyways, Tracy, these are background papers, and I'll use them like on journal cards, or you know, if I wanted to cut them down, I could do an ATC card with it, or I could even do a pocket or something like that. Hi, Joan, sorry. You're not late because I never say when I'm coming on. So that's why I tell people to please hit that bell so that you'll know if I'm doing a video, if for some reason you would like to catch me live. But it's nice to see you ladies. Thank you for joining. And so not only did I have the foundry wax and the silver alloy, but then I took these. I love these things. I got these with my wax seal kit that I bought from Amazon. And so it came with a gold and a silver one. And I used these to dot. Like I dotted the flowers with silver and I dotted the leaves with gold. And so that's what I did with that. And then I had a piece that I used what is that? Eggshell? No. Robin egg. What is that? Speckled egg. Oh my gosh, if I guessed enough, maybe. Oh, well, thank you, Joan, that you have hit the bell. I sure appreciate you making that effort to try and see one of my videos. That honors me. Thank you. Speckled egg paint. And then, like I said, I use the texture paste. And so, like I said, this one, that brown, was from my rust water with me trying to rust my pins. I like to do that on paper. And I also took a piece of fabric that I have that somebody blessed me with in a Happy Meal. And when I went to dry the pins off, I just used this cloth, which isn't very absorbent or anything. But the thing is that I wanted to get the rust on here. So because the rust fluid consists of vinegar and hydrogen peroxide, I will hand wash this here pretty soon to try and dissipate that vinegar smell more. Not one of my favorite smells. But I love to do that to fabric sometimes, to just grunge them up. So I am, as you may know, getting ready for December Ember. And I didn't have my journal closed up. But my journal is ready, and the things that I'm playing with will more than likely end up in my journal eventually. So, like, let's just take a look. So I've got December here in 2024, and there's a pocket here. But let's just go through the pages, and so then I will like do something like that. And of course, this can't take a pocket because it already has this. But I might just flip through my journal and once I see something I like, then that may give me an idea for what I want to do with this. So, you know, I may even like take a frame. Now these frames are too small, but I may even like take a bigger frame and frame that in, and maybe I'll decide, yeah, that's brown behind there, but it looks really good with what's over here on the other page. Yeah, so that's what I'll be using these for. And this is a background piece that I made when I made these numbers with foil. But that's what I'm up to. I'd love to hear what you guys are up to. I don't really have anything more to show you tonight. Yeah, except for my scrap bucket. Joanne, this is the first time that I took a journal and I sewed every page. So yes, every page is sewed, and I'm actually even considering going back through it and inking every page because I've never done that before. I've sewn some pages, but not every one. And yes, every one of these pages is sewn this time. And I did more of the, not as much as I wanted to, bend the page down kind of thing. I know there's another one here. I think there's only two. This sort of thing. I wanted to do more of that too, and I have a real focus problem sometimes. But it's fun, and this is how my making journals crafty self is evolving. In this particular journal, I decided to use the no-sew method. Oh, cool. I'll have to look out for that. Oh, Tracy, thank you so much. I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for years, and then I got hooked by the junk journaling bug and ended up selling most of my Stampin' Up! Stuff. Not all of it, I still have quite a bit. And took a deep dive into junk journaling. I started with like shabby chic, and I agree, Joanne. But I started with like shabby chic and like even doing some folios and stuff with cardstock. And I ended up deciding that I liked more vintage paper, um, using some digitals. I like the old and new combination, and being able to sew on paper and all that kind of stuff. But this is the no-sew type of journal. So I've got 3 signatures here, and each signature is individually sewn with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and then I have the elastic to hold my signatures in. So that's where I'm at with that. This has been so fun already. Like when I open it up, this reminds me of Nathalie. Well, in my Stampin' Up! Days when I was doing cards, Tracy, I learned a lot of techniques for like, what is it called? Ice, distressed ice or something. It was a technique that was coined by Melissa Kermit, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I believe is her name. And so I had used Stampin' Up! Foil paper and done this sort of thing before with Stampin' Up! Inks and stuff. This time I used Tim Holtz inks and glazes. And I bought the foil from Amazon because I was out of, I have a few things from Stampin' Up, like a few foils and stuff, but I didn't have any silver. This is a project that I did as a result of one of Barbara's videos. She did this from being inspired by Pinterest. But in answer to your question, Tracy, this paper is Epson paper, and it's a little bit heavier. And I was just thinking, do I have some beside me? But I don't. I think it's like 32 pounds, but don't quote me on that. 32 GSM or 32 pound. So I think it's 32 GSM. And so then I have an eco. Thank you, Tracy. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the compliment. That is very kind of you. So just reading the comments a little bit more. Dollarama. Is that an online store? It kind of rings a bell, but not really. Not really sure what this is. And then I have some straw paper in here from Roxy's Creations. Watching her videos was what first introduced me to straw paper, and I love straw paper. This is an envelope that I got in a paper pack from Vanessa Clemens, and she is Clemens Crafting is her Etsy store, I think. And this envelope, this avocado dyed envelope was in her pack. And so all this stuff brings back memories. It brings back memories, or it reminds me of ideas. Like I bought these brads from Amazon, and I'm currently working with Line Dot Arrow Nathalie's steampunk kits. And last year for Epidemic, the mascot was called Effie. He was not a real creature. He was part mouse, part something else. Ah. Oh, that is so sweet of you, Joanne. So Dollarama is probably like our dollar store here in the US, maybe. But anyways, you guys are just really blessing me tonight. Thank you. Your comments have been so kind and just making me speechless. Anyways, so I saw this little dog and I thought, okay, I'm going to put him down here, and it says, "Where's Effie?" So I just thought it was cute, and I put these little pieces on the page. To me, it was like an explosion, and Effie just kind of dissipated in time because he was from last year. And it's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I was trying to explain it to my husband what my thought process was, and he just looked at me like, huh? And here's some butterflies that have been embossed with gold. And in fact, Tracy, what company do you use to get your card supplies from? Anybody special? Like Stampin Up, or I forget what the other one is called that's real popular. And actually, they were absorbed by Stampin Up here recently. I love my antique vintage. Yeah. Yep, that's what our dollar store is like too, Joanne. This is from Italy. I bought this from Juanette with Juanette's Crafting Corner. So all of these things pretty much have a memory for me, which is really fun. I got this from my swap partner for Epidemic. And just some stash, music papers from music books that I buy in the thrift shop and stuff like that. Here's one of my rusted paper clips that did work. That's fun when things work. If I can bring that closer. I don't know if you can see the rust on there or not. And this is another piece from the swap partner. See if there's any more memories. Another piece, two pieces, fabric, textile, and paper that's kind of like textile. This is some very interesting paper. I thought it was really cool. Yeah, I like it. Here's another swap. I just attached that with some fabric or lace that came with the swap. I got some really fun pieces. One of my vintage buttons. Here's some of my fabric that I stamped on. I don't know if you can see it. And then I got some of this fabric. I thought that was fun. It's kind of like a net. It's just so silly what things appeal to me and just make me loopy happy. This is one of my gel prints. And I'm only going through this again because you guys' names haven't appeared in prior videos when I've gone through this. Ah, yes, I hear that, Tracy. I don't even worry about the angel policy now that I'm not a Stampin' Up demonstrator anymore. Maybe that's wrong of me, but I'm not a lawyer. I can't figure those things out. So Joanne asked me how to find my snail mail address. It is in the description. And the one that's in the description is to my permanent address. But right now, so for those of you who don't really know me, I am a full-time RVer with my husband, Jeff. And we snowbird. We started snowbirding last winter. So last winter we went to Yuma, Arizona, and this winter we are in Onalaska, Texas. So I will put that Onalaska, Texas address in the, I'm kind of hesitant to put it in the description because Juanette put an address in her description and I must have been looking at an old video and I sent her some fabric that was like Arizona because she's in Arizona and she never got it. So let's see if I can figure this out while I'm still new window. So what I'll do is I'll put it in the comments is what I'll do. That should be a good idea to not cause any confusion. There it is. And so thanks, Joanne. I'm a tenacious person. I get something in my brain and I just have to figure it out right now and then there. But in regards to how long does it take me to make a journal, I have been working on this journal and got it to not, completion because tomorrow is when, no, thank you very much, Joanne. And I'd love to send you something in return if you'd let me know something that maybe you're looking for, something that you don't have available that you've seen in other videos. Like I have whale tail tabs, if that's something that you like. I could include some of these numbers. I have some of those left over. If you're, I don't know, just throw some ideas at me and who knows. I've got German, Italian, French, and English book pages. So I have I have a lot of stuff. So let me know, give me some ideas, and I'd love to bless you with something back if you don't mind. And back to how long it took me to make this journal. I've been working on it since the beginning of November, I think. So it's got, every once in a while I'll do a little bit more to it. Like the cover, I worked on it like 5 or 6 different times and it evolved each time. Oh my gosh, I don't have any Spanish. That would be cool. But so like I had made this slash fabric cover. No, ma'am, I don't. So if I make any journals with different languages and there's a cuss word on here, disclaimer, I can't speak this language, so I don't know what this says. So hopefully it is all appropriate. This one I believe is French. So yeah, I might be able to, of course I can make out the word Paris, and the word DE means of, and probably DES is probably of the, I'm getting a tickle, sorry. And LA is probably the, but yeah, very, very basic. Just little pieces. Anyways, so I have spent, sometimes I can just put a journal together real quick. And sometimes, like if I'm following somebody and their ideas, like I did a language of flowers journal that I have videos on my channel, and I was following Carol Loss. She was doing one with the paper cameo. Sorry, that tickle's getting to me. The paper cameo kits, and that was a lot of fun, but it took me a long time. So I'm going to have to go get a drink. I sure did enjoy talking with you guys, and I hope you'll join me again some other time. And I hope you have a great